All right, I want to welcome you to Maryland State Straight Pool Championships. This is a match with Bobby Hunter and Johnny Archer. I'm joined by Megan Fort today.
Good morning.
Good morning. And this is day 2 here at Big Daddy's Billiards in Glen Burnie, Maryland. All right, so
Looks like Johnny won the lag and he's making Bobby break. Left that 11 ball out. All right, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the players. Obviously, Johnny Archer, well known as the Scorpion. And Peter puts together a really nice program that's for sale for $3 at the door, but it tells a little bio of each player, and it's really, really nicely done. Mika got the cover this year. He won it. I think they said he was the champion 2009, I want to say, because last year was Johnny, and the year before that was Danny
it's Danny.
Harriman.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
He
unfortunately
beat
he couldn't
Sean in
make
the
it this year.
finals.
Oh, he did?
And they say that Johnny is from Twin City, Georgia. He began playing pool when he was 12. He turned pro in 1986. Um, he's recognized as one of the game's supreme players. He credits his credits are truly legendary, and he has won more than 60 professional tournaments, not to mention Johnny won our 2011 Maryland Straight Pool in his very first try. Among his many top honors, he's a U.S. Open winner, 1999, 7-time Player of the Year, 1990s Player of the Decade, 12-time member of the USA Mosconi Cup team. 2009, Johnny was inducted into the BCA Hall of Fame. He's recently helped to organize the ABP, and he's the owner of Marietta Billiard Club. And I've actually been there.
Yeah.
I've
What'd you think
actually
of it?
been there. It's a beautiful room.
Yeah,
And
nice.
believe it or not, Sean beat Johnny in his home room. Hill, Johnny broke dry. And Sean ran out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's probably one of the few times I couldn't breathe.
I bet.
Um,
Well, Johnny's, I mean, one of the best players on the planet, you know. I mean, especially for as long as he's been around, he's still beating guys that are twice, you know, he's a lot older than, and beating a lot of the top older players too. So like Earl, you know, he's beat Earl every single time he's played him in the past couple years. So it's got to be a testament to Johnny's game.
Absolutely. He's sponsored by Q Sticks International and Scorpion Qs. His opponent, Bobby Hunter, I'm very familiar with him.
Hmm.
He's known as a straight pool player in this area. Um, he's frequent this tournament, Maryland Straight Pool Tournament, many years. And in 1991, he was the world 14-1 straight pool champion.
Nice.
He resides in Chicago, Illinois, and he was born in Detroit, grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, home of the late, great Harold Worst. He quickly became a pool-playing legend and today is still a champion as well as a champion cue maker. Bobby Hunter is a legendary road player, and virtually every town from Bangor to Bakersfield can relate Bobby Hunter's tales of old
Sure.
when the locals' best was cold-cocked by the Grand Rapids phenom. Doesn't even look like I've never even heard him raise his voice.
It's funny.
He ran over 100 balls before the age of 18, and in 1991, Bobby won the World Straight Pool. Bobby's high run is 225 at the renowned Amsterdam Billiards in New York City.
Nice.
He's a past board member of the BCA and also a past president of the MPBA. Captain of the U.S. Mosconi Cup team for 2 years, and we're very fortunate to have a great champion and genuine nice gentleman in our midst.
Definitely.
And his sponsors are Hunter Custom Cues. And
There it
so
is.
Johnny's obviously up 14-0.
Yep, and the first match of the day here. Always my favorite. No, this usually is a great match as far as lineups go. So hope you're enjoying it out there on the Ustream. And we got our iPhone working correctly, the iPhone app working correctly.
Johnny's left himself a perfect break shot here. Ooh. Cue ball went back into the stack. This is going to be interesting. We definitely have to give a special thanks to all the sponsors, Simonis and Ivan Lee for the live stream and the tournament, Aramith, Predator Cues for the tournament and the live stream, Kamui Talk, Nick Varner, Champion Billiards, Peach Hour Cues, Nate Selinsky, Peter and Sandra Sears, Rick and Cindy Molinaro, Big Daddy Billiards, beautiful room. Rick's done a great job with all the tables. Peter Burrows, Q and Case, Lacoste Hybrid, APA Washington area, Lee and Jane Tyani, Felipe Hughes, Q-Sticks International, Dr. Michael Frank, Ralph Rubin, and of course Inside Pool and Alvin for this beautiful free live stream.
Well, thank JR because he puts me here. So yeah, we always work hard to try to get better and better. So hopefully you're enjoying seeing Mr. Hunter there on your screen, full HD.
Also, you viewers out there, I can tell you about the other matchups going on around the room. You have Mike DeShane versus Charlie Strayer, Bob Madoff versus Michael Yednick, Sean Wilkie versus Rick Molinaro, Danny Baruti versus Marty Sicca, Ralph Eckert versus Alan Duty, Corey Dool versus Don Polo, and Brian Deska versus Steve Lipsky. And the 8 players that have a bye the first round that came out of their brackets as number 1 seed are Mike Davis, Dave Daya, Warren Kiemko, John Schmidt, Brandon Schuff, Mika Immonen, Zion Z, and Torsten Homan.
Nice. Well, definitely want to say hi to everybody on the chat. What's up, Steve Kurtz out there? Appreciate your help this weekend. Technical help, sending me messages whenever the stream was messed up. Appreciate your help, buddy. Let's see, we got B-Doc, old player. Who else do we got out there? Still early. Still early.
Yeah, JR and Sally did a beautiful job updating. They made a bracket
Nice.
for Facebook, and Steve.
Well,
JR appointed Steve. He's going to keep updating it.
Good job. Well, you know, JR and Sally, that's all they do is care about pool and work with pool, so everybody's doing their part in the story. Make it all happen. From the players to the media to the fans to Steve Kurtz, you know, the whole spectrum.
Well, we got to keep this wonderful game of straight pool alive, down to essentially 2 tournaments a year. And it's an awesome game. Most straight pool players you talk to, that's all they practice. They don't practice 9-ball or 10-ball.
Yeah, that's why you always see these selected people that you never see on the rotation tour here at these tournaments.
That was a really good shot.
Really nice. Left it off the rail.
Bet you expected, I think, to get more than 1 ball out, though.
Well, this is an art form, and these guys are artists at their particular art, and this is what they like. It's more, it's a better pace than rotation where it's just chaos. Race to 9, race to 7. Just chaos going on. This is real smooth, spectator friendly, nice atmosphere. Professional people all dressed nice.
Look at this angle. We can see a little bit of Rick and Sean's match. Sean is the house pro at Big Daddy's, and Rick is the owner of Big Daddy's.
Rick
and
Molinaro.
It's unreal that they drew each other. I was doing the brackets last night with the ball differential, and we knew it was like a 20-ball difference. And he's like, I just don't want to play Rick because they also play each other in straight pool league. And what do you know? They pulled each other.
Nice. Well, Rick and Cindy really have treated us well at Big Daddy's here, and it's a real nice, clean room, and I really suggest everybody show up here. The carpet's nice and clean. The tables are nice. They just felted them all. Rick and Cindy definitely go out of their way to make the customers and friends feel welcome here. So definitely, it's on Baltimore-Annapolis Highway off 10, 100 area, Baltimore.
Ooh, nice. Wow, that went. That's a big pocket there. Cindy's tuna fish sandwiches are pretty famous.
Bring a toothbrush. You're going to need it after you eat one of those.
She definitely likes the onion.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah. Bobby's really...
Something's in his head here. Something's in his head. See him shaking his head.
He's getting away.
Talking.
He's getting away with it, though.
Mind's running.
We got a spectator.
The lone spectator lived forever on this video. Timeless. Look at that puppy spin. That beautiful Simonis 860 green. I almost said blue.
Yeah, Rick's old school.
He likes the green. That's what it's about. It's about the green.
Sean covered his table with the Simonis like grayish blue. I don't know the name of it. It's like a slate color.
That's weird.
Oh, it's really nice. It's just the best cloth in the business.
Oh, yeah. And what a great advertiser for pool, Ivan Lee, and what he does.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I've had quite a few dinners on Ivan Lee, I'm sure, over my time.
We actually just opened up, you know how there's far and few pool rooms around the United States, and New Jersey just opened up one on Route 30. Joe Young and Al. Joe Young's a cue maker and cue specialist, and Al owned another one, and they joined forces and covered it with something else. Everybody was like, these are too slow, we can't do it. We went to the opening, and a week later, I got him in touch with Simonis, and every single table's getting recovered.
Nice. Yeah, definitely a big thanks to Ivan Lee and Simona's Cloth for sure. Who's now merged with Aramith, by the way, from what I understand. And one other thing about that is Earl said that he told me at Tunica, he said that he likes the tables with 860 on the bed and 760 on the rails. So.
Well, Earl is definitely eccentric, to say the least. Now, this is an actual break shot that does come along a pool.
Yeah,
It's not the optimal one, but it's just them going behind the stack.
Yeah, the behind the stack break, he would definitely want more of an angle here, but I think he's going to glance the 5-6. I'm sure he'll hit that center ball too.
It looks like it's a very friendly match. Johnny's sitting there with Bobby's girlfriend. They're all just hanging out.
Sure. You get to this age, man, nothing bothers you anymore. Now, what I don't like is how far he's cueing away from his cue ball here.
That's definitely an interesting rail bridge. It definitely was.
I think he was doing that in order to get that more action, but he bumped the 1 back into the stack. No big deal. He's got plenty of plenty of shots here. At least, and for sure he's got an easy shot to start off with, so that's always good after a kind of a touchy mental break shot to have an easy ball to get you back in your routine.
Yeah, I noticed at the World Straight Pool that I watched Effort play a lot because it's not very often you get to see him anymore. And he plays straight pool different than anybody else. He actually does 3 different, like, baby break shots throughout a rack. Where the most Americans, try to go for that one big major break shot, and then maybe they might have a second one. Efren has 3 sometimes in a rack.
Interesting.
But I mean, he does stuff with the cue ball that nobody can do.
For sure.
So it looks like Bobby Hunter's going to take the lead now. So what Peter ended up doing yesterday is I know 3 years ago he did just a $100 bonus for the high run on Saturday, and actually Sean won it with a high run of 99, and it was a race to 100. And then last year they didn't do any extra incentive for high runs, and John Schmidt ran 100 and out twice during the round robin last year, and I went around the pool room and asked for donations. Our biggest donation came from Mr. Andy Lincoln. He donated $20. We ended up getting $140 to give Mr. John Schmidt for his 200 and outs.
Nice.
So this year Peter put aside $200, and he broke it down to be $50 for each column, the A, the B, the C, and the D. And I know you guys are going to laugh when I tell you who won which one, but the B and the C originally were a random draw. So, you might say, oh my gosh, because Mike Davis won it in the C bracket, and he's obviously not a C player in straight pool.
For sure.
And his high run was a 95. Torsten won it in the A bracket, and I believe his run was a 96. Mike DeShane won it in the B bracket, and his high run was 125 and out against Rick Molinaro. And in the D bracket, Dr. Michael Frank won it with a run of 31.
Nice. So he sponsored him. He donated to himself.
Yeah. Yes, he did, because he did give Peter money towards.
So he gave himself the money for the high run. Good job, guy. Doctor. See, them doctors are smart, aren't they?
Yeah,
Man.
they are.
There's some smart cookies. All right. Bobby, let's see what he's looking at here. I think he wants to go rail into the 5-7 and blast it off over, get a possible break shot. That'd be my guess.
took the 10.
Nice. Yeah, why go do all this crazy stuff when you can just do that?
I heard them talking yesterday, the normal break shot that they like to go to the rail and out instead of a draw shot because it leaves a bigger window of error.
Interesting.
Now in straight pool, if he were to leave the 7, it gets spotted because it's in the rack.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I've seen players play for that to
Sure.
happen.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
And I've also seen them play for the cue ball to land in the
Definitely.
rack
Mm-hmm.
because then they get ball in hand behind the line.
Bobby looks like he's using a really short cue. I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to looking at Earl's freaking Lancelot cue all the every video. Look at me. But that cue definitely looks a little shorter than normal.
I'm looking at it now too.
Do you see how short it is?
Yes.
I don't know how I
Definitely
noticed
at least the shaft.
Mm-hmm.
It
Something
might
shorter
be, it
about
might be a normal size butt, but that's a short shaft.
Yeah, something's going on with it. Yeah, it is short for sure. Maybe it's just me saying that.
Well, he's putting his pendulum arm all the way on the back of the butt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a short shaft.
Maybe it is.
I'll have to look at it after. Chit chat with him since he's a cue maker. Obviously, he custom that cue for himself.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he's going to take the 14 in the corner and try to leave. Like, oh, no, he's going to cut this up. Wow.
He's going up to the bottom rail, or excuse me, the top rail and back. 2 rails. Oh, this is good. Ooh. Now he's getting a little steep there. He's going to hit the second ball, though, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's
I don't
think
he wanted that. Yeah, I didn't think he wanted that extreme of an angle, but that's around.
No. He wants to go. He's going to go up towards the bottom right-hand, or excuse me, the bottom right-hand pocket on our screen. It could scratch, too, because he's got to hit it with some pace to hit that stack. And he may be able to dive right in between the second ball and the third ball down.
Peter just said it's 27 to 15, I think he said. No, wait. Of course, it's going to be 14 times 3. Oh, Bobby.
Oh, he made a ball. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I don't see a lot of straight pull, sorry.
Yeah, you got to call it a straight pull.
Yeah, this isn't...
no slop.
No sloppy stuff counts. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's
definitely show my error.
Crucial mistake against Johnny Archer.
We don't see a lot of straight pull. Seriously. I mean, I see one of these tournaments maybe once a year.
We got to see Derby, right? We got to see some straight pull at Derby, the straight pull challenge.
Yeah, a little bit of that for sure.
And there's Steve and Charles do the Fury 14-1 at
Super Billiards Expo. So we do get 2 or 3 a year.
But tournament-wise, yeah, you really only get the Worlds and the Maryland.
I definitely need to polish up on my straight pull rules.
Yeah, I mean, Peter just does an amazing job of getting these world-class players, and then the sponsorship. The prize, the purse is $17,000 for this tournament.
I know, it's really nice. That's why I drew so many great players. I mean, they're coming after that for sure. Gives them a reason to be here, like Johnny. An additional reason, not just because it's
the biggest 2-day tournament. That's what Johnny was just saying. In the United States right now, it is the biggest 2-day tournament. He said you can't go anywhere for 2 days work and $17,000 purse. Definitely not in this industry.
Definitely. It's 14. Archer took a foul, so it's Steve Kurtz.
So 27-14 at the beginning of the rack. Can look around the room. Brian Desk is at the table. Corey Duell is at the table right now. Rick is at the table. Ralph Eckert. And I can't see him around the corner. I definitely can see Johnny getting out of this rack. On the table behind us, we just watched Rick leave himself a very difficult break shot, and it looks like he purposely made the 5. They put it back in the front of the stack, and looks like Sean just played it. Stuck the -1, hit the back of the stack. All right, folks, Alvin just went and got us some 2 really awesome guests. Commentators. We're going to have Mr. Peter Burrows, who Alvin and I have been bragging about all morning, and Dr. Michael Frank. So they'll be right with you.
Yeah. Hi, fans. This is Peter Burrows from Annapolis, Maryland. I'm the director of this tournament this year and for a number of years in the past. As I'm sure previous commentators have told you, the field this year, although lacking a high-end lady player, which we like to get, but that having been said, this is certainly the best field we've ever had here. Just terrific. I'm sitting here with Michael Frank. Michael is a longtime player here in our room and on the faculty at the University of Maryland, our state school. So I'll let Michael say hello.
Good morning, everyone. We're picking up the Johnny Archer Bobby Hunter match, which was tied at, which was 27 Bobby Hunter, 28 Johnny Archer, but Johnny Archer is now on a run of 21. He has the balls open, so I don't expect that he will have any difficulty getting out of the rack.
Michael might mention that he was in the same bracket with Johnny Archer when the tournament opened, so he had a chance to play Johnny. Maybe it had been the first time they ever played. I played Johnny in the World Tournament in 2011, and I broke, and Johnny ran 100 now, probably 20 minutes. So he's one of the consummate players for sure.
Johnny gave a lot of thought to his break ball, which from here would be the 15 ball. So he's thinking about his pattern to get to his key shot, which would be the ball before the break. And I from my angle, I cannot see if the 5 passes the 15 in the top corner pocket. It does not. So he's going to have to come behind the 5 and probably shoot it in the upper left-hand corner.
And if that ball would have been just a little further down the table, he might have saved that for a side pocket break shot.
So he's playing the 15, which means he's going to leave either the 5 or the 13 for his opening break ball.
Well, it looks like he's going to
leave the 13 ball.
Sure. He doesn't like it. It's a little high, but
he's not going to like this shot because he's got to
drift up
in order
table.
To get to his key ball, he's going to have to go either up and down or place the one in the corner pocket, which is a difficult shot. There we go. Perfect shot.
Shows you what we know, right?
That's a perfect shot. Well, I mean, you had to either draw it across or you had to hit a rail to get there or shoot it straight in the corner.
Yeah, come up table and put the 12 down the corner, but he's in pretty good shape now.
Yes, he is. So.
Okay, we're back. We missed Johnny's break shot, I think, but he drilled it, as would expect it. Doesn't have much of a problem here. He'll get up top of that 8-ball and open the stack up a little bit. Probably play the 14, and he can get on the 11 side and open the balls, or he can go up, put the 11 down in the right corner and open the balls that way. He can also play the 2-ball in the corner and come back around for the 11. I think that might be what he's looking at.
He may be able to go into him.
Off the 14.
Off the 14 ball, and
it's risky.
And that would leave him the 2 as a safety.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
So I think that's maybe what he's going to do. We'll know when he strokes the ball.
This is Johnny's second time coming to Maryland 14-1 Open. And,
number 3.
And, last year, Johnny was his first appearance, and he went straight through the field and played John Schmidt in the finals. So we're certainly glad to have Johnny back.
Looks like he doesn't have enough of an angle to break off that ball.
No. So he'll take this 8 probably now. And should be okay. He's trying to see what the cue ball's going to come down below the 5 or stay up the table, I guess. Yeah, he's going to take the 11 and get himself a better angle on that 8-ball. Once the 5 goes through there, it's hard to tell from where we're sitting. Oh, he's got a
I was looking at a combination, 3-4 combination.
Yeah, he didn't like that 8-ball when he had it before. Now he's got that 1 ball out there for a break ball just like before. He's also got the 8 he can use for break, but the 5 doesn't seem to want to go by the 8. Of course, he can shoot the 5 up table, and that clears the 8 out.
If memory serves me right, Peter, I believe Johnny Archer has been Player of the Year 10 times.
Yes, in the 1990s, Johnny really came into his own. One of his famous tapes that I've seen is his tape in a match that he played Dick Lane, great player from Texas, a great player. And it's a wonderful tape. I highly recommend it to everyone. One of the nice features is that Johnny was a young, just really getting into straight pool at that, at the end of the 90s. And Dick Lane was a long-time straight pool aficionado and also a wonderful commentator, articulate, knowledgeable gentleman. And in this tape with this match with Archer, it's narrated by Dick Lane. So he talks about his own game and his life growing up in pool and how he got to be the player that he was. And he also talks a lot about Johnny, who's just a really up-and-coming young player at the time. Dick Lane ran, I think, in a match to 100. Dick Lane, or maybe it was 125, ran 98 off the break. And but it was a good match. It's an AccuStats tape that I strongly recommend to anyone who wants to follow straight pool.
Johnny's background is 9-ball. I was lucky enough to see him play his first major 9-ball tournament at the U.S. Open. May have been 20 or more years ago, and he came in second, actually, in his first outing. He has not played straight pool seriously for a long time, but became involved largely through the Maryland Straight Pool Tournament and was last year's winner. Uh, and has become an excellent straight pool player.
And it's probably been mentioned before, Johnny, over the last, I suppose it's been 3 years now, owns a room near Marietta, Georgia. Matter of fact, I guess it's in the town of Marietta Billiards. And Johnny told me the other day the room is doing well. He said it's a 40,000 square foot facility, and or 25,000, I guess, facility, and it's got 40 tables. So I haven't been to the room yet myself, but it's nice to see when players at Calvert, Johnny, can get a room going and keep it up, because the billiard industry for the proprietors of rooms has certainly been difficult lately.
He'll shoot 5 here, easy, and come back for an angle on the 1 ball so that he can open his next rack. So Johnny is on a run of 42.
And the score is 42 to 27. Is that right?
No, it's no.
Oh, he's got. Johnny's up 56 to 27. I'm not sure I got that for you, so I'll say it again. Johnny's up 56 to 27.
On a run of 42.
And
And he has the balls open here and a clear shot at the 10 ball. Now, I've noticed over the past few days that very high caliber players will try and get the problem balls open as soon as they can. So Johnny has, it looks like, the 10 and 11, which are tied up. So I suspect he's going to get to them as soon as he can get to them.
And I think that he can get that 13 ball down in the lower pocket. He can get by that 7, it looks like. It's a little hard to tell, but I think he can. Let's look at it from the other end. Yes, he certainly can get that 13 in the corner, so that shouldn't be a problem. And if he clears that 3 ball out of the way, then he can shoot the 10 down here in the left corner. So he really shouldn't have much trouble. He's just trying to think about exactly how to go about it. So let's see what he does here.
Going to draw back for the 10 ball and get that out of the way. He's going to take it out.
And in this tournament, and in most high-end straight pool events, it's all ball fouls. And we don't have a referee at every table. It's a luxury that just doesn't happen anymore. So, like in golf, we leave it up to the players to call fouls on themselves. And we've certainly had no issues whatsoever. In one of my matches, called a foul on myself, and my opponent did the same. So it's a good way to do it. It's certainly nice to have a referee standing at the end of the table in a situation, but it just really doesn't happen much anymore.
So Johnny made a little difficulty for himself by pushing the 8-ball just a little bit too far. So he'll have to move. I suspect he'll draw a little bit and try and knock the 4-ball out, which he didn't do. So he's going to have to get to those 4 and 8-ball and break those up to keep his run going. Unless the 4-ball goes down here in the corner pocket.
I think what he'd like to do is get in a position where play the 2 and where he could then cut the 14 in the corner
And break
go
up.
into those 2 balls, and then he
Yeah, I think you're right.
leave himself
Peter.
the 2 ball, the break ball, but the shape is so delicate that if he isn't perfect on that 14 ball, he won't be able to get by the purple ball there. So
I think he has, although if he gets in real trouble, he has a makeable combination because those 2 balls are
Yeah.
not frozen.
that's right. He gets you up to date on.
Yeah,
He did exactly what we
right.
thought. He's gonna
Gonna
slice this ball in, and then he'll go through those balls, and he ought to come out just fine. There you go. Well, he
messed up his break shot.
so now he's going to have to use the 7 ball as his break ball.
Actually, I noticed he likes balls high on the rack. Not quite that high, but
Right. We want to mention some of the sponsors. We've got the wonderful cloth company and Mr. Ivan Lee and Simonis, Aramouth Balls, Predator, just a great company in the billiard industry for sure. Kamui, Nick Barnard, Champion Billiards, Jay Peschauer Cues, Q and Case, Lucchesi Hybrid, the Washington Area APA, Lee and Jane Tiani, Filippi Cues right here in our own neck of the woods, Q Sticks International, Dr. Michael Frank sitting next to me, our good friend Ralph Rubin, Peter and Sandra Sears of Madison, Wisconsin, of course Rick and Cindy Molinaro, the room owners, Megan Ford, who's a whiz at helping us with our issues. Let me get you up to date on a couple of scores. Room owner Rick Molinaro is playing Sean Wilkie. Rick is up 33-20.
and Johnny Archer is up 70 to 27.
So you see that break ball that Bobby missed 3 or 4 racks ago is beginning to haunt him a little bit.
And he is on a run of 56. He has a side pocket break here.
Michael Yednick is a New York City player, is ahead of Bob Madoff of Drexel Billiards, 37-22.
Johnny opened the balls up very well off that break shot, and he'll need to go into the stack again, which I would suspect he may do off the 10 ball.
Mike DeShane is running away from Charlie Strayer. The score of that match is 90-20. Ralph Eckert, just a great player and billiard writer and commentator from Mannheim, Germany, is ahead of Alan Duty, one of our local players from over in Virginia. The score of that match is 70-14 in favor of Ralph Eckert. Danny Baruti is ahead in his match with Marty. And that score is 59-12. Mike Deschain's match is now over. Michael has won that game 125 to 31. Mike's a great young player from Waterville, Maine, making his second or third appearance here in Maryland, and every time he does better and better. Marty Chichia's match with, let's see what that match, who's in that match?
Brian Deska.
I'm sorry, Brian Deska.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was Steve Lipsky's play.
Yeah. I don't know the score of the Lipsky match here. But we'll try and get it for you.
So Johnny continuing his run. And he'll use the 14 to open up that little cluster of 4 balls, I believe. So now he's open. May take the 9 in the side so he can then have a 2-ball, the 4-ball for the break. So he'll leave the 8-ball now for the break. And the 5-ball will be his key ball. So he's thinking about his pattern, which will be the 2, the 1, 15, 5, and leave the 8 for the break. So now he's out of line, so he'll take the 5 first.
I just spoke to a fan who called in, and I haven't done a lot of the commentating myself, a little bit, but he said that it seems to be coming through loud and clear, and that's a good picture. We tried to do it last year, but it was really the first year that we did any of this live stream. And this year we've had the wonderful help of Inside Pool Magazine, and so it's a vast improvement for our own equipment here in-house. The score of the Lipsky match I still don't have.
So Johnny Archer on a run of 70. And the score of 84 to 27.
The score of the match was Brian Deska 50 and Steve Lipsky 41. All of these matches, by the way, in this first round are to 125. Our goal being to complete the matches by 12 and to start the second round about 12:15.
So Johnny left with a combination, it looks like 10 and 11, which he easily pockets. And it looks like he'll have another shot that he's he didn't roll down quite far enough on the 13th to just shoot it in. So now he's left with either shooting over a ball or making a tough cut shot in the side pocket, or the 4-9 combination, which is what he's going to choose. Makes it and keeps on going.
Yeah.
Of course, Johnny is one of the great shot makers, so he is able to take these difficult shots and keep his run alive.
And he combines both a power game of the new modern players and the soft finesse stroke that the great old-time players certainly Irving Crane had that wonderful soft pace to his game, and Johnny seems to combine that with being able to power the ball when he needs to. He doesn't stun the ball as much as some of the real younger players today. He tends to hit the ball softer and roll to the position that he wants with a soft stroke.
He was trying to move the 1 ball into a break ball position, but he has the 5, which appears to be out of the rack enough to be used as a break shot.
Sure, and he's got the 2 ball is a perfect key ball if he wants to go that route, but any one of these balls left can certainly get him on the 5 ball.
So he's going 13.
Doesn't like to have to jack up over this ball, but I guess he will.
Now, in the game of 14.1 straight pull, it's always good to have a safety ball. So you can see the 15 ball is left in the corner pocket. In case Johnny was to get in trouble breaking up any of the balls, he would have a very easy shot to get out of. All he would need to do was be able to see that ball.
So now he goes, well, he's going to take the 2 ball, and then he'll, interesting. I thought maybe he would shot that ball up in the corner, and then
I think he's going to shoot the 12 last and come off on that angle to the
yeah.
to the 5 ball.
The 12 is always for younger, less accomplished players. Shooting that, is it the 12 or the 15, that ball that's right deep in the
12
pocket
ball, I
there?
believe. I think it's a 12
It's
ball. Might be
tricky
15.
to get exactly where you need to get sometimes. If you hit it a fraction too thin, the ball comes much further than you thought it would, and if you hit it too thick, of course. So
He's going off the rail.
Yeah.
So he played rail first on that shot
And
to come up for the
he knew he was
angle.
going to do that probably 4 balls ago. He anticipated doing exactly that, it looks like.
So Johnny is on a run of 84. And the score is 102 to 27.
That's what's so nice about doing the commentary with a professor from the University of Maryland, that he can handle this math rather quickly. We are not able to see the score beads from our vantage point. I think one of the things we can do next year is have some flip cards in a position where they would show up on the screen. That would be or maybe something where we could keep the score showing readily in a little box on the screen.
The 5 ball would be a very difficult shot for the average player, but Johnny easily pockets the ball and opens the stack for himself.
Of course, I've noticed in the last couple of days of watching these great players is that they seldom miss shots during the rack. Really and truly, they leave the table when they get stuck off a break shot. When they get frozen on a rail with a ball right on top of them or something like that. But then once the rack gets going during the course of the rack, they just don't miss shots. Sure, they'll get stuck in a pack and have to play safe, which happened early in this match. If you recall, Johnny made a break shot and got stuck at the top of the stack and took an intentional foul, and Hunter was able to make a combination in the corner. But missing shots, this game so far, only 1 shot has been missed, and it was costly, that miss on a break ball by Hunter. Now Johnny's got concern here is to open this stack up a little bit. he's got any number of ways he can do it. He can shoot the 11 and come back through the balls right now, but I don't think he wants to do
I
that.
think he'll go off.
He can also play the 11 and then the 8 and the 10 and come back through the balls off the 10.
Or the 9.
Yep, sure. Take a look
So
at it
he's
from the other end.
he's making that judgment now.
Yeah, he shouldn't really have much
So
of a problem here.
He's shooting the 2. That'll open up. Once he pockets the 2, he can both open up the rack and open up the pocket on the upper.
And of course, that was the ideal
The upper
shot,
corner
really,
pocket.
because he sits on the bottom of the rack and he's got the 11 and the 8, which were safety balls. So he was perfect in coming into the back of the stack, but you don't want to come in the back of the stack
Well, he'll go back into it on this shot.
when you don't have a ball sitting there that you could help you out if you get jammed.
So now he has opened the balls and he'll be thinking about what his break shot is. What do you think it'll be, Peter?
Well, he's got that 3 ball again. That he likes that high ball on the right side of the table. For him, it's perfect.
The last time when he had the 4 ball in that position, he played a side pocket break shot.
He certainly did. Yep.
And he could do that easily here if he leaves the 6.
Yep, absolutely. He clears the 2 out, and then he just stops the ball right where the 6 is, and he again, not an easy shot for a beginning player, but Mosconi liked a side pocket break shot. I saw him do it many times. The players today tend more to shoot the behind the stack with a low ball at the bottom of the table. Given a preference, I think they'd leave the lower ball, but Mosconi shot side pocket breaks a lot. And he also wasn't at all adverse to shooting a ball down the rail and going back through the stack. He's very good at that. Again, players today don't like that shot much unless it's an absolute only option. So we'll see if Johnny elects to play the 3 down in the right corner or if he goes into the left-hand side pocket.
He's going to shoot that.
Well, I think he's going to play, he can play 8 and then the 15 in the side, the 2 down in the corner,
and then the 6.
and then the 6.
But he's actually electing to do.
All right,
so he has another plan. So
now he'll play the 15 and the 6, and then he can.
Well, he's going to do the 8, the 6, and the 15, and play the 3, and the corner is the break shot. Yeah. So he's not going to play a side pocket break shot.
Right.
So he's looking at the angle he needs so he can position himself perfectly on the 3 ball to break the rack. And he has that angle here. He only needs to roll the 15 ball into the side pocket and he will be in perfect alignment to break up the rack from the 3 ball. I played Johnny yesterday, which was quite an honor for me, and enjoyed that match. And during that match, I noticed that he likes to leave the break ball when he can exactly where it is, as you see it on your screen, and that allows him to go into the top 2 balls and open the rack. So Johnny's score is now 116, and he only needs 9 balls, if I'm adding right, to win the match.
Yes, Professor, I think that's exactly right. 14. So he's got 116.
So he's on a run of 16. He's on a run of 102.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. This looks like it's going to be the last rack, and Bobby's miss on that break ball half a dozen racks ago was curtains. Often the case with the perfect break shot. So now he's going to.
Needs 8 balls to end the match.
And he's probably going to come around for the 11 ball to open up the stack a little bit. He could go off. Rick Molinaro's match with Sean Wilkie is 72, I believe he said, to 22. Was that what? 72 to 26. And Rick Molinaro is the room owner here at Big Daddy's, had a 66 ball run. So he needs another 25, and he's in the money round. Well, that was kind of interesting. I thought he would.
Well, he needs to open the stack in some way to get the last 3 or 4 balls he's going to need.
Certainly he can play the 9 and go up high for that 11 ball. Looks like that's what he's going to do. And you know, good players, they don't mind leaving themselves a 4-foot shot like this. So this shot could well be the beginning to the end. If the beginning to the end wasn't Bob Hunter's miss a while back, then this is it for sure. Fortunately, he's got that 8 sitting there where he can.
The 8 or the 2. He needs 5 balls from this position.
Switch it up to the other side to take a look at it. Yeah. Let's get that 8 ball.
111. Johnny being cautious here with Bobby Hunter in the chair, knowing that Bobby is capable of running more than 100 balls as well. So he really doesn't want to give him that opportunity.
Of course, Bobby's been around this game for a long time. One of the great players. When I was growing up and playing more, won the World Championship back in, I think, 1990 or 91. And today lives in the Chicago suburb of Evanston with his lovely lady, Debbie Rosenman. And Bobby is a very accomplished
cue maker
of high-end cues.
There it is. There it is. So he'll have no trouble with, I believe, what is 3 from here. 4, 15, 4. He needs 4. And he'll close out the match with a run of 111 balls.
Yeah, I think that'll be the second high run of the tournament. Mike DeShane had a 125 and out yesterday, and Mike Davis had a couple of runs in the high 90s, but Johnny's run 111 and out will be the second high of the tournament. Sean Wilkie is back at the table now against Rick Molinaro, and he needs to get a strong run here, get himself back in the game a little bit. Try and update you on some of the other scores at the conclusion of this match. No, 120. Yeah, these matches for this round, and then the next 2 rounds will be 125, and then the last four players. The semifinals will be 150 and the finals will be 150.
So Johnny's going to work for his last two
Yeah,
balls
he
here.
is indeed. He is indeed. Of course, he
He
wanted to
doesn't
come
wanna-
off that rail a little bit, but
That's
they don't
pretty
miss
much
shots.
it. Well, the way I add, he needs this ball for the game. I'm not. Maybe I have an incorrect score.
I don't know. Maybe we do. We'll have to check. Do you believe that?
Well, Johnny missed, giving Bobby Hunter a chance. We need to get a correct score. We
Yes.
cannot see the scoreboard from this position, so we will do that. Bobby unfortunately does not capitalize on his turn. So Archer needs 4 balls from here. And a score of 121.
That often happens when you've been sitting in a chair for 45 minutes. 125. He's been sitting in a chair. Johnny ran 107. We find out we were a couple balls off. We apologize.
14, 100, actually 100, maybe 111. He started from 14.
Yeah, so that's the conclusion of the match.
111, I'm sure.
Johnny Archer wins the match 125 to 14. I'm sure a disheartening game for Bobby. He had an early miss of a break shot.
It's a 1-0. He ran a 1-0.
And
What was the run? 1-0.
yeah, we'll sign off. Thanks a lot. We'll let the next folks step in and bring you up to date on the scores. Thanks a lot for watching.
There we go.
All right, my friends, there you have it. Johnny Archer winning another match versus Bobby Hunter there. And we will have another match up very shortly. I'd like to run a couple more of our commercials for our sponsors. One of them is Kamui Tips and Chalk, and if you can definitely support Kamui, it'd be great. They've done a lot for pool, and they really did a great job at Tunica Southern Classic for us, and Here's their commercial.